Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. We're on the road, clearly in Burbank. We're in Burbank, getting ready to do our show tonight at Flappers in Burbank, which is very exciting. Ron Placone's going to be on that show, as are Rosie Tran and Shoshona Livingston, both who've been on the show. But I wanted to talk today because we got to look for the good news. And lately there's actually, there's a lot of scary news out there, but there's also a lot of really good news. And it's important to talk about this. We keep getting these. And this is big. I just saw this on Twitter today. This is from Workers United. Breaking: Starbucks in Augusta, Georgia wins election 25-5. First in Georgia, and then they made a correction. It was 26-5. And this is huge. I mean, and just everybody in the response is just like, I say union, you say power. I mean, all these cool gifts. The union makes us strong. Solidarity. Let's get it even one at a time. Hell yeah, Augusta. Hell yeah. Now let's do Athens. Congrats, guys and gals. This is all Workers United. I mean, it just keeps, and then someone, of course, has something shitty to say. What are the benefits you host to believe? Okay, right. So this is just a big thing. And if we just go to Workers United, I follow them in a lot of these. And this was 2 hours ago. Eugene, Oregon won a union, the second in the state. Right. And they won 12-1. And then welcome Starbucks partners from Peoria and Cary in Illinois. So there's everyone. This is just, and Starbucks Workers United, I would follow this site. And there's all these Twitter thing. Another modest victory. What is this? 92 Peoria, Illinois, the second unionized store in Illinois. I'm from Chicago. This is cool. Landslide in Cary, Illinois, 17-4. So now there's two. I mean, this just keeps happening. And this is on 425. New Jersey and Maryland. One New Jersey and one Maryland Starbucks store vote unanimously to join 9 other states with unionized Starbucks stores. Latest count: 31 wins in 11 states across the United States. The NLRB files in federal court seeking immediate reinstatement for 3 Starbucks workers. Right on. And they've tried to fire people. From April 22nd. We are the first unionized Starbucks in Colorado. Falls Church workers win 30-2, becoming the 6th unionized Starbucks in Virginia. This is all just from the last week. I mean, it's official. Second roastery in the country votes to unionize. 38-27. That was a tight race, but they did it. Yes. So it's really like Starbucks flagship roasteries votes 38-27. 5 Virginia Starbucks stores vote overwhelmingly to join Workers United. 25 stores from coast to coast. This is from the 19th. But now it's up to 31 stores. So it's an exciting time. And I wanted to bring on the show, because we've talked about workers' rights a lot with Ron Placone in the past. And so we wanted to bring him back. Host of Get Your News On with Ron. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the show, Ron Placone.
What's up, Graham? Nice to see a little bit of good news, buddy. I'm good, man. And yeah, this is amazing. So I believe it's 40 stores now. And, wow. I saw a meme earlier today because I saw this news in Augusta, which, Augusta is a neat little town. I've performed there a couple times with the Comedy Zone comedy club chain. And they're most known for, I believe it was the home of Little Richard for a little while. And it's also known for the golf tournaments. So, that's like where the big pristine golf course is or whatever. Clearly, I don't know much about golf.
Right, when you say the golf tournaments, you mean
there's only one. The Masters, whatever. Yeah, like whatever. That's what it's called. Like the stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big golf guy. I don't really.
Really?
No, dude.
I mean, you're not a big golf guy?
I know I strike. Yeah, I seem like I would be.
The way you said it, the golf tournaments? Boy, you sound
like it's a big thing. Really... No, my brother-in-law got to go to that, and he was all freaking excited, and I was like, that's neat. I mean, I don't know. He had a good time. That's his jam. But
It's like referring to the World Series as like those baseball scrimmages. It's basically.
I would have known not to call it a scrimmage. I just would have called it the World Series, where they, they do it for a while. It's the best out of 7 in a baseball game. I mean, George Carlin told. I mean, it can go on forever. It could just. I mean, there could be a baseball game that lasts for weeks.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna do about it? We just got to let it in. I mean, when and speaking of unions, Graham, when I saw a headline that said Pittsburgh 20-0, my first thought was, wow, the Pirates are even shittier than usual this year. But no, Graham, it was the result of a freaking union election, 20-0 for a Starbucks. And it was, ironically enough, it was right down the street from where my sister lives, because when we were walking around, I had a show in Pittsburgh a couple weeks back. When I was walking around, my sister and my brother-in-law, who was telling me about the golf tournaments in Augusta, pointed out that Starbucks. They were like, dude, that's Starbucks.
I mean, this is so intriguing because I think the last time we had you on was probably a month ago to discuss this after another big win. And in that time, since the last time you came on to discuss this, we've just had more and more wins. And one of the things we talked about, and it kind of feels like it's more true now than ever, is just the difficulty of a general strike. Getting all Americans to get together on one thing is tough, and walking out of work, especially to ask people to not go to work when they need the job, money's tight, or they get their health care from that job, because we don't have free health care in the richest country in the history of the world. So we were kind of like, it feels like it's just going to have to go, not even state by state, but literally one Starbucks at a time. And now which is happening, and it really feels like it's a domino effect in a very good way. And on top of that, we were just talking about the Starbucks. We also should mention the huge one of the Amazon, what Chris Smalls and his group, I mean, he's been fighting that for 2 years, man. And it really feels like everybody's like on board. Everyone knows they're getting screwed. Everybody knows the bill, whatever your political affiliation is, everybody knows that, Wall Street and, had record profits during a pandemic when we're all like, waiting in food lines, and some of us, some people watching the show have lost their jobs, or they barely got by in the stimulus, or even if you're a small business owner that made it through the pandemic, you probably have some type of PPP or SBA loan that's not forgivable. Wall Street gets forgivable loans, but small business owners don't. And so it feels like everyone is waking up to this fact. And especially the other thing too, specifically to Starbucks and to any of these places that have minimum wage employees and stuff like that, it's mostly young people. Right? It's mostly people in their 20s or teenagers or early 30s, and they're not watching MSNBC or CNN or Fox. So they're on Twitter. They're saying no.
Yeah.
And they're made aware in real time. Oh no, they're doing these are the union busting tactics that they're doing. They're just looking at their phone going, "Oh, this is how they're going to union bust us, guys," and they show their friends. Yeah. So
they know it's bullshit.
They know it's bullshit, and they're calling it out. And then they're like the fact that there's that one tweet I showed about people who got wrongly fired as part of some union busting thing are now taking legal action, and there's this wave of support. So how do you see this continuing to play out? I mean, it kind of feels like the sky's the limit. Any company.
Well, that's the thing, man. You look at it, and let's go beyond Starbucks and Amazon and look at it from an industry perspective. Okay, so you see unionization happening in these big conglomerates like Starbucks and Amazon. You also see union efforts happening in the adult entertainment industry. There's this huge stripper strike going on in North Hollywood right now. You also see it going on in academia. At my alma mater, IU, the grad students are on strike because their living stipends are, I believe, 7% below the poverty line in Indiana. So I can only imagine what they're giving these people each month to do their jobs, because, Indiana is not a super high cost of living. They're going on strike, and other, institutions are kind of following that lead. You have restaurant workers going on strike, fighting for union efforts. I mean, all these different industries, and you just add them all up. You had the stage and theatrical employees, John Deere, Kellogg's. I mean, the list is going on where people just aren't taking the exploitation anymore. So it's showing us that, the time is ripe for a general strike. Organizing that, of course, is immensely difficult. But we're kind of seeing it happen organically, where all of these industries are just kind of standing up and saying, we're not going to take it anymore because they have to. I mean, it's like people have reached their breaking point, and we are at the point where it's like things are just completely unlivable. I mean, the statistics are there that it's like wages do not match the minimum it takes to live in a place. And that's not just in places like San Francisco and LA and New York. It's everywhere. It's even in the Peoria, Illinois of the country.
Mhm.
And so, people are kind of demanding that as the backbone of this country, they get treated with respect and dignity and given what they deserve.
I mean, it's something we talked about several years ago when we were covering the Democratic primary. It was something like Bernie Sanders brought up a lot, which is there's not one state where if you work 40 hours a week making minimum wage where you can support yourself. There's not one. There wasn't one state. And that's a pre-pandemic statistic. I would argue now that it's even worse because that was back when gas wasn't $5-6 a gallon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $6 a gallon in California. And I was just in Texas where it was $4 a gallon, which was a big number for them. And then I was in Phoenix where it was like $4.80, almost $5 a gallon, which is a big number for them.
I was in Canada, dude. You want to talk about high gas? The best part is you don't even know exactly how much it is because they do it in liters, and my American brain is very tiny. So I was, I was just every time I was just like, well, it's going to be a lot. I just know that it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, and everything. I mean, since probably December, maybe even before, everybody, I don't care if you watch the news or not, you watch your grocery bill and everyone's been going to the grocery store going, wait a minute now. This used to be $80 worth of groceries. Now it's $100. Now it's $120 worth of groceries. Like what happened? And everybody's seeing that. And then you throw gas on top of it and you throw anything. I mean, you're a contractor and you got a quote and someone just wants to redo their deck or re-roof their house. And you got to say, well, actually the supplies that I'm getting, like, I know contractors that are like, dude, the prices on all that, on the wood, on the nails, on everything has gone up. And so everybody's feeling it at every turn. I don't care what industry you're in, it's gone up and no one can survive on these wages. And so, which is where it's Americans are very easily propagandized. We're the most propagandized like society in the world, but you can only propagandize people so much because when they're looking at their bank account and their paycheck and their bills, you can't propagandize that. You can't tell them, oh, pay more for Russia, stick it to Putin for $6 a gallon or whatever. They're just gonna be like, what are you talking about? Because so I guess my question is, will we even need a general strike? And here's why. If everybody's starting to unionize, right? Everybody. I mean, McDonald's had some strikes. I think they're going to be the next series of dominoes to fall. We're going to just start seeing McDonald's workers go on strike because they're like, if Starbucks is getting it, and that's fast food, that's the same industry. If Starbucks is getting it, we're getting it. If Amazon's getting it, Walmart's going to get it. And does that then, in lieu of a general strike, then I'd love to see one. I'm not like against general strikes. I'm just knowing how it's
you're
like
just recognizing what a feat it is, which I recognize that too. I mean, I always say like I don't call for a general strike because I think it's going to be easy. I call for a general strike because I don't know what other choice we have.
Well, here's my. Let me just make this point though, and then please weigh in. Is not that I'm against it or don't, but could we even just get one in the sense of, rather than everybody walking out, which again, I'm all for, but it's as we know how difficult it is. So I'm just going to make the hypotheses that it's too difficult to do. I don't agree with that, but let's just make that hypothesis. It's too difficult to do. But with all of these industries starting to unionize, don't we start to get like a soft general strike? If we just get all these unions to agree, we all need Medicare for all, and all the unions start to line up and go, we want Medicare for all. We want, like the unions are going to drive this to where, if some giant union with, 3 million members goes, and most of our members are kids in their 20s with student loan debt. So we're going to really lean on we're not going to endorse candidates unless they flat out pass student debt forgiveness. I mean, do you think that's possible?
Here's what I think, man. I mean, I get what you're saying, where it's like, okay, like all these micro strikes really add up, and I agree with that, and I'm thrilled to see it.
Mhm.
Here's as far as like, can we get by without a general strike? I think the only way is that is possible is if we can become collective enough to the point where we can make societal demands, real societal demands that goes beyond one strike in one industry, um, that need to be listened to. And maybe that could happen with all of us joining the Wobblies or something like that. Maybe that could happen with, a massive amount of people even joining like some other union. Maybe it could happen with, a massive demonstration for like a weekend or something. Uh, but I feel like unless there is a societal demand that needs to be adhered to, where it's like, okay, we need to get universal health care. We need to take climate change seriously. We need to cancel student loan debt and address the education crisis. I mean, canceling student loan debt is not enough. You also need to have a society where that will never happen again to anybody, because it's absolutely criminal. I mean, I know people in higher education who are trying to get out of it because of just what a gutted industry it's become. And
Same thing with
so
healthcare, by the way. Same thing
oh,
with healthcare.
absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. So it's like, I mean, even people who are medical professionals,
Right.
doctors and stuff like that, they're like, look, I actually wanted to practice medicine. I didn't want to be doing paperwork and dealing with insurance companies for 70% of my day. It's absolutely absurd what we do here. So I think unless somehow there are true societal demands that need to be listened to, it's general strike or feudalism. I mean, one could argue we're already at feudalism,
Well,
but
yeah, we
it'll get
are.
worse. It'll get worse.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be the feudalism will just get the disparity and everything will just increase. Um, Well, cool, man. I appreciate you weighing in on that. We've got some tour dates, folks. You can see me. I'm going to be headlining Ventura the 29th and 30th of April. Go to grahamelwood.com for tickets. And then Ron Placone and I are back on the road together in July in the Pacific Northwest. Tell him where we're going.
Guys, I mean, first of all, my stand-up set, if you don't know what I've been doing recently, it is just 45 minutes of why we need a general strike or we're all dead. It's super uplifting stuff. It's freaking hysterical. But but yeah, we're going to the Northwest. July 28th, Portland, Oregon, July 29th, Seattle, Washington, and July 30th, Vancouver, British Columbia, baby. You can get tickets at ronplacone.com and grahamelwood.com. Come hang out with us. That's going to be a super fun run. And I will also be in Iceland for their Reykjavik Fringe Festival. I don't have the details on my shows yet, but I'll be posting those as soon as I have them. But come see Graham and I in the Northwest. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah, we might be sprinkling in some other cities and dates this summer. And then, we're talking about, Lee Camp and I are talking about doing some government secrets in Europe in September. Ron Placone might be out there for some shows. Like, might be some European hijinks happening for everybody. So check that out. All right, Ron, shave your knuckles for justice. Go to ronplacone.com. Boom. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our ninth month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/GrahamElwood or rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood and go to grahamelwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.